Namaste, welcome. It's lovely to meet you and to see you today. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Azrael, and I thought I'd just share a little bit with you today about the wisdom of listening, of tuning in to what may be wanting to be shared with you or through you. I know a lot of the people that tune in to me or check in or know me are pretty awake people. We have our spiritual practice. We support ourselves with nature. We try to listen to our hearts and to follow our dreams. But in our Western world, a lot of times we really get swept away. We get taken for the wild ride of either the mind or the minds and energy of people around us, or just life in general, what we need to do, what we need to get done, what we may need to do to survive, what the latest news is even, whether it's environmental or something in the worldwide picture. We get caught up in so much of the electricity of the time. And I invite you to be in the question of what would happen if instead of being sort of a radio antenna for all this energy, we just tuned into what was coming through us, what wanted to be felt, what wanted to be explored, and what was lighting up inside of us. So this might seem like an easy question. You might say, oh, I know, I want to create. I've been really called to practicing my cello lately, or perhaps doing some drawing, but I just don't have time. Or some of you might not really have any idea. I don't know what my purpose is, or I don't really know what I want to do. I know I just need to rest. That in itself is a strong message. Maybe that is what you need to do, is just rest. For others of us, we're so busy. We don't have time to stop. Or we stop for our meditation practice, but then we get on and move on with our daily life. What wants to come through you? If you could just do something that would be fulfilling and nourishing and grounding, what would it be? And why can't you do that? I often have excuses. Well, I'm not creative enough. I'm not talented enough. That's I don't have the time. How do you know you're not creative enough? The universe will ask me. How do you know that you can't do it? What if you created the time? Even if it was just for rest. Simple questions, maybe not so simple answers, or maybe really simple, but hard to remember, hard to break the cycles, hard to break the patterns that keep us going in our busy lives, in our busy days, in the shoulds, in the have-tos. If I were to ask the question, how do you want to feel today? What are the experiences and the energy that you want to feel in your body today? And what would you have to do to feel that way? How would you have to open up and unpack your box so that you could create the feelings, you could create the space to do what was in alignment with you? Because these feelings, a lot of times, are really powerful reminders to us of what we want, what we're here to experience. If it lights us up, if it feels good, if it feels expansive, wow, that's sort of telling us something. And if we're resistant towards it, Sometimes it's fear and it's sort of a push that we should move forward. But if it's like I just don't want to do it. Here I go again. What's that telling you? And if it's I don't have time, I really want to, but I don't have time, well, then what do you have time for? What would it be like to take some time, to create some time, to schedule it in? If we listen to these cues in our body, like our emotions, our feelings, what feels nourishing, comforting, what feels exciting and safe, or what makes us feel a little bit congested or angry or stressed, what do you think would happen if we paid attention? What do you think would happen if we listened? Even just once a week to start, or once a day. I noticed that the more that I slow down, the more that I say no and say yes to me, and the more that I really allow myself to notice what feels good and to follow that thread, the more that like the universe just connects the dots for me. The less I worry and the more I open. Just something to explore, something I thought I would share. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your experience is in listening to yourself and trusting yourself and slowing down and stopping. Or sometimes maybe it means jumping into something really big and exciting. I would love to hear. And thank you so much for listening to me today. Namaste.